The Future of Power by Joseph S. Nye was written in 2011. Power in today's world is diffuse and no longer flows from military might alone. The nations with the best narratives and ideas win. States are no longer the only important actors in global affairs. Security is not the only major outcome they seek, and force is not the only or always the best instrument available to achieve those outcomes. Soft power may appear less risky than military or economic power, but it is often hard to use, easy to lose, and costly to establish. A smart power narrative for the 21st century is not about maximizing power or preserving hegemony. It's about finding ways to combine resources into successful strategies in the new context of power, diffusion, and the rise of the rest. According to the author, the more interesting issue is not which country is rising and which declining, but rather how power itself is changing. Is power today the same as it was 50 or even 20 years ago? And if not, what is that makes a country powerful? Instead of assuming that power is invested in states, author suggests we should consider what resources create power. For example, 16th century Spain rose on the back of colonies and gold, while the power of 19th century Britain derived from the Industrial Revolution and sea power. What are the resources that determine power in our time? Is it any longer sufficient to use military dominance or gross domestic product as an indicator? And how do we measure the balance of power in an information age? Two great power shifts are occurring this century, author writes. A power transitions among states and a power diffusion away from states to non-state actors. In the world of states themselves, the big story will continue to be the return of Asia. In 1750, Asia had half the world's population and output. This shrank to fifth with the rise of Europe and America in the Industrial Revolution. By 250, Asia will be on the way to returning to its historical share. Yet in the age of global information, nation states no longer have the power they once did because money, ideas, and diseases flow easily across national borders, and issues like climate change and terrorism are by nature transactional. It is not enough to think in terms of power over theirs, author writes. We must also think in terms of power to accomplish goals that involve powers with others.